Appreciate everybody being here. You know, obviously excited for the progression throughout this week. You know, 2 good days. You know, guys pushing, fighting to respond. You know, continuing to focus on our fundamentals. You know, the physicality. You know, obviously, you know, some of the issues that showed up a week ago, and you know, to clean up and continue to progress as a team. Got a great challenge ahead. You know, one of the top teams in the country. You're playing well in really all phases. So it's going to take a great effort, and our guys are excited for it. It's you know, obviously we talk a lot about this game. You know, it's a 365-day-a-year game, and you know, what you do, how you prepare. And everybody can get excited during game week, but you know, it's a mindset of what you're willing to invest throughout the course of the year that's going to put you in position for this week. So. Looking forward to seeing guys, you know, as we finish up this week in our preparation. You know, I think we've gotten some good work, and you know, obviously still some steps that need to be taken lead up to Saturday.
Start with Brendan.
A lot of guys on the roster from down that way, and a lot of players know each other. I guess with the emotional balance.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be emotional, and I want it to be every bit of the emotion that we have into this game. You know. When you know people, when you have those relationships, there are a lot of lifetime relationships. Guys that have competed against each other in high school, you know, guys that are friends, you know, throughout throughout their life that you know, are just at different places. You know, this is going to be something that's remembered, and you know, but the emotional maturity is critical. Is that can I bring every bit of the emotion, but to be able to have the focus, the detail, the discipline. To go play my best and not to get caught up in you know, things that don't matter.
Chris,
you spoke on Monday about Roydell working back and Ashland to be determined. How are those two doing, as well as how's Javon Boggs?
You know, Boggs is coming along. I feel you know, good about where he's coming. We were hopeful last week. You know, round game, it wasn't fully ready to go out there. So expecting more. You know, this week. You know, I thought Roydell looked good. You know, Ash is still progressing, so we'll see. You know, as these next couple of days will be big for both of them. But you know, I've seen them get some work, and you know, I think we're trending the right way. But you know, we'll see where it gets to.
Liam.
Kind of following up on the Miami standpoint, there's a lot of guys getting their first taste of this game. Have you seen maybe a different level of edge for those guys as they kind of embrace this challenge for the first time?
I mean, this is an exciting game to be a part of, and you know, as I think I started on Monday. I mean, it's a blessing to be a part of this game, and you know, we have enough guys that have been in it, been a part of it. You know, can kind of share a little bit of you know, just it's going to be different. I mean, you can get jacked up for every game, but I mean, this is one that's just it's one of those ones, and you know, for our guys to be able to. You know, prepare at that, you know, at that level, and then continue to build upon that throughout the course of the week. I mean, it's everything. So I mean, I know a lot of guys are excited for what's ahead, and you know, obviously, you know, we want to go out there and we want to show a much improved Florida State you know, team, you know, in all the things that we can control, you know, as leading up to this game.
Brendan, we got to see Amari work on defense a decent amount this past week. I guess what's the plan? How did he do in those reps, and then what's the plan for him moving forward?
Yeah, you know, he was able to get you know, a little bit of work there. You know, he still, you know, the balance of you know, for him, you know, it was good getting Randy back, you know, there at tight end to be able to have, you know, he was able to get more extensive work, and so you know, I think that's going to be an opportunity for Amari to have a little bit more flexibility, you know, really within both sides, and you know, expecting to see you know, probably a little bit more work of that on the defensive side, and in special teams as he still is there, you helping offensively.
Corey.
With this game for you personally, like you coach in a lot of games here and a lot of big games, but do you remember a game kind of with this hype in this building, and what do you think it's going to be like Saturday night? Because I feel like a lot of your big games have been on the road, so you know what I mean? And like you haven't played a rival that was number 3 in the country before, and you're also ranked. What do you think just the atmosphere and the environment's going to be like?
Well, I mean, you know, the big expectations for the atmosphere, and you know, I know that I know what we're pouring in and what we're preparing for. But yeah, I mean, I expect it all. I mean, it's you said in ranked games, what I think it's gonna be, I don't know. I mean, I know it's gonna get every bit of who we are, what we're about. That's my expectations on what we can control in our preparation, the edge, the fight throughout it. I mean, that's what I wanna see.
Matt?
They talked about this game, what it means on the field, but off the field, it's big for recruiting as well, just for the state in general. Just what do you expect with that, and what do you want to show recruits?
I mean, just to continue to show, why Florida State. You go a lot of places, obviously there's plenty of different factors that will try to persuade you to different places. There's a lot of, different elements, and, obviously it's a big game. It's a big game because the program's a big game because of this state and the importance of, recruiting the right guys, here and, from this state. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. We'll have a great turnout when it comes to, prospects that are here, and, just to continue to paint the picture for what it can be here at Florida State for them.
We have time for two more. Liam?
Can you, taking a step back from the game with Ethan, do you have an update regarding him? I saw some news circulating yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it's, thank God, he is progressing, and I got a chance to go see him earlier this week, and, it's truly a miracle, some of the steps that we're seeing. It's still a long journey ahead, but, just to be able to have an opportunity to be in that room with him, to see his eyes, to see, the foundational levels of the growth and where we're gonna be able to go. But you just continue appreciate all the thoughts and prayers that have been poured out to him, because I think prayer works, and God's working a miracle in that situation. I believe that with everything, and I just continue to lift him up for all those that have, and he's just it's definitely been a really good last week, and there were some really challenging days in that time before that where there's a lot of uncertainty, and but I just continue to believe and be there for him, his family, and it's it's grateful for the progress.
Chris?
How does their usage of Ruben Bay evolve, and what is he putting on film this
Yeah,
year?
I mean, I think Ruben looks, obviously he's playing as good as he's played. He came in, as a freshman, really played, you saw the flash. Last year was solid. This year he's taken his game to, I think an elite level. And I mean, he's playing, they're moving him around, he's not stationary. He's playing hard against the run, he's been great against the pass. You see the complete player, that he is, and he's positioned himself as one of the best defensive ends in the country. So, Mesora's done the same thing on the other side, which those guys, that combo, it really it presents some great challenges, and I think their defensive front, like we touched on. I mean, it's we know that it's going to be a strap 'em up game, and it's going to be a battle, and our guys are excited for the opportunity and really looking forward to seeing those guys compete.
All right, thank you, Coach.
I think yes.
Coach?